as a Volunteers of America Mid-States Recovery Community Center in Manchester, Kentucky. I have visited it, and it is a wonderful place. She's a person in long-term recovery from substance use disorder, and after a long history of drug use, she began her recovery journey 7 years ago in federal prison by utilizing our DAT program. After leaving the correctional facility, she returned to Manchester, eventually connecting with the local RCC. She's now a peer support specialist and helping others in her community impacted by addiction. Join me in welcoming Sue Fox.
Thank you, guys. Like I said, my name is Sue Fox, and I'm a person in long-term recovery from substance abuse disorder. What a great day it is to be in recovery, man. I see these faces around, and it's just humbles me, because I know the hopelessness that we feel when we first get here, when we're in addiction. But this is the way my journey started. In 2012, I was arrested for a conspiracy to distribute oxycodone and received a 115-month federal sentence. And I mean, that's not my first time that I've been in trouble. I've had a long history in the legal field, But before I went, there was nothing in recovery around our area because it's a rural southeastern Kentucky, and there wasn't much recovery going on. We had one meeting there that people went to, and it was, and that's all there was. It wasn't like it is today. So while I was incarcerated, I have entered a treatment program they offered. And through this treatment program, they told me to change my thinking and all this stuff, and I'm like, change my thinking? I said, I've thought this way for many years. How do I do this? But over time, things started to click. It just started to play in your head, that there is hope out there. I had a therapist tell me one time, he said, if you can't change it or fix it, you leave it. And that was very impacting to me, because I cannot change my past because it is what it is. All I can do is do better in the future, So when I come home, I come to the halfway house in Manchester. And when I got there, I was like, man, I didn't know what I was going to do for recovery, because like when I left, it was, over 7 years ago, I didn't know what I was going to do. So when I come home, and I had two friends that used to be in active addiction with me. They was in recovery now, man, and they like, come up here to this center that just opened, because I come home in October and the center opened in August. And I was like, okay. So I come up there and I walk in the doors, and there's like 70 or 80 people sitting there trying to accomplish the same thing that I was. And it was a very humbling experience for me, because that wasn't going on in my county when I left. I come home and we have a higher rate of homelessness, people walking around. That's something that wasn't happening when I left, and it impacted me a lot. And I'm like, man, how can I help these folks? How can I? What can I do? And I just kept on going around to the recovery center, because it was my safe haven. I think every community needs a recovery community center in it, because it's impacted my life and the people around me, And so I kept on going, and I'm like, they was talking about this peer support and, lived experience. I said, well, I know that. I know all about the lived experience, because I've lived a long life through it, and I'm here today. So I got my peer support certification, and I started working at a treatment facility for women that was pregnant, women that was parenting. And when these women would come in, there was that emptiness in their eyes. I know you all know what I'm talking about, because you all have seen it. And it's real sad, but then I would see the light come on, man. And they was getting it, and lives was changing. Things was changing. They was building these relationships back with their children, their families, and it's an experience that I love. It touches my heart. And so there was an opportunity for me, because I wanted to do a little bit more. I wanted to be more out in my community, because, see, I was a big problem in my community before I left, and now I wanted to be part of the solution. And so I get to, so I transfer to the Recovery Community Center where I do a lot of outreach. I meet people where they're at to try to help let them know that there is a way out. Because in my county, everybody knows me because I'm well known. It's just the way it is. But now today, I try to be well known in a different way. And it's I have a job that I love to do and get paid to do it. It's not like a job. If you're here and you're in recovery, man, you all are miracles sitting around. Miracles. You are the hope shots around in in your community and every other community in the state of Kentucky. For the people, for CORE, for what they do for us. For band that goes to fight for us. Today I get to go into jails and walk back out. Whereas before, I never did. They were shutting that door and I wasn't coming back out. I know where those people are sitting. I've been in those seats. I earned that seat today. I earned this seat today. And it's really a humbling experience. And I got a little shocked before I got up here because I didn't know my daughter was going to be here today. And when I seen her, it was really humbling to me. Because listen, I put my daughter through a lot. And I've been able to build that relationship back with her. For her to come here and see me speak, it's really a humbling experience for me. I get to be a mother today. I'm a daughter today. I get to be employable today. I'm trustworthy today. People, and it's just the simple things in life, man, that means the most to me today. If you're new here, welcome, man. Because I'm sure there's some treatment facilities here with women, and you can do this, ladies. I just want you to know that. Y'all can do it. At the end of the day, it's going to be okay. And thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Sue. That was great. I know a lot of you know it's no simple thing to get up here and tell your story. It takes courage. I really appreciate Sue doing that and Brandon.